Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all.
It's been nearly 6 years since the Cubs' historic curse-breaking championship. They came back from a 3-1 deficit, shattering a 108-year championship drought. But 6 years later, the Cubs now find themselves in a bit of a transitory period. They currently place 4th in the NL Central. Let's talk about how we got here and what's next for the team. The first thing you have to mention when talking about the Cubs are the players who helped build this championship team. The major infield contributors consisted of MVP third baseman Kris Bryant, consistently great first baseman Anthony Rizzo, emerging young star at second base Javier Baez, elite defensive shortstop Addison Russell, talented rookie catcher Wilson Contreras, and the veteran presence of catcher David Ross. The outfield included World Series MVP left fielder Ben Zobrist, solid leadoff center fielder Dexter Fowler, defensive star right fielder Jason Hayward, and the left fielder who appeared as a DH during the World Series, Kyle Schwarber. The rotation included ace John Lester, who finished second in Cy Young voting, control freak Kyle Hendricks, who finished third in Cy Young voting, 2015 Cy Young winner Jake Arrieta, experienced veteran John Lackey, and decent starter Jason Hamill. The bullpen included names like flame-throwing Aroldis Chapman, along with other arms including Carl Edwards Jr., Pedro Strop, Mike Montgomery, and plenty others. And of course, this 103-win, World Series winning, curse-breaking team was led by none other than eccentric manager Joe Maddon. This offseason saw the departure of Aroldis Chapman, Travis Wood, Dexter Fowler, David Ross, and Jason Hamill, along with the additions of reliever Wade Davis, reliever Alec Mills, and outfielder John Jay. The Cubs took a slight step back with a 92-70 record, but they still finished first in the NL Central. Most of the championship core was still producing at a high level. Despite this step back, the Cubs still handled business in 5 games during the NLDS against the Nationals. However, in the NLCS, the Cubs would lose to the Dodgers in 5 games. This is unfortunately the closest the Cubs have gotten to a World Series since 2016. Notable departures this offseason were starter Jake Arrieta, reliever Wade Davis, starter John Lackey, and outfielder John Jay. This offseason also saw the addition of all-star starter Yu Darvish and the relieving talent of Tyler Chatwood, Brandon Morrow, and Drew Smyly. This was a major breakout season for second baseman Javier Baez, as he established himself as one of the most entertaining players in the MLB. This season also saw big improvements from Kyle Schwarber and Wilson Contreras. The Cubs also added solid pitching talent mid-season with Cole Hamels, while also adding veteran batting talent with Daniel Murphy. The Cubs had an improved record from the previous season at 95-68, but ended up playing in a wildcard game because of a Game 163 tiebreaker with the Brewers. The Cubs' 95-win team was unfortunately wasted because of a poor performance in the single-elimination wildcard game against the Rockies. The main departures this offseason were Tommy LaStella and Daniel Murphy. The biggest addition, however, was closer Craig Kimbrell. Despite the solid play from Baez and Schwarber, with the addition of Nick Castellanos, the Cubs regressed to a non-playoff team for the first time in 5 years. This would end up being Joe Maddon's last season as the Cubs manager. The major losses this offseason were Ben Zobrist, Addison Russell, Nick Castellanos, and Cole Hamels. The only major signing this offseason was Jason Kipnis. This is also the offseason that the Cubs would hire their current manager and former catcher, David Ross. "2020 was an odd season during an odd year. The main core of Kris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Javier Baez all struggled mightily at the plate. But thanks to great pitching from Yu Darvish and Kyle Hendricks, the Cubs were able to make the playoffs with a 34-26 record. Unfortunately, once again, the Cubs struggled at the plate in the playoffs, losing in the wildcard round against the Marlins. This offseason, the Cubs lost John Lester, Kyle Schwarber, Yu Darvish, Albert Almora, and Jason Kipnis. This offseason also saw the departure of the man who built the World Series team, Theo Epstein. The additions this offseason were starter Zach Davies, infielder Patrick Wisdom, outfielder Rafael Ortega, and outfielder Jock Peterson. Jake Arrieta was also brought back as a starter. This was the most transitory year for the Cubs, as this deadline saw the entire roster get gutted. Kris Bryant was dealt to the Giants, Javier Baez was dealt to the Mets, Anthony Rizzo was dealt to the Yankees, Jock Peterson was dealt to the Braves, Jake Arrieta was dealt to the Padres, Craig Kimbrell was dealt to the White Sox, and Andrew Chafin was dealt to the Athletics. The team completely tanked the rest of the season, missing the playoffs with a 71-91 record. After the significant subtraction from the trade deadline, the only significant player that the Cubs gave up was pitcher Zach Davies. This offseason, the Cubs added MPB outfielder Seiya Suzuki, starting pitcher Marcus Stroman, infielder Yan Gomes, infielder Andrelton Simmons, and reliever Daniel Robertson. So far this year, the Cubs have been a mediocre sub-500 team, but let's look at the talent and what players could be in the future for the Cubs' success. Contreras has been elite, arguably the best catcher in baseball this season, but unfortunately his age points in the direction of a potential trade. His future with the team is very uncertain. Wisdom provides value as a power hitter, but his inconsistency and age also point in the direction of a trade. Ian Happ has been very solid at the plate this season, but him being on his contract year complicates things and whether or not he'll get an extension. The future is uncertain for Happ with the Cubs. Hoerner is here to stay, as he's been an efficient batter and elite defender at shortstop. He's a potential Gold Glove winning player who's definitely part of the Cubs' future. Hendricks' effectiveness has regressed over the seasons, and with his rising age, the potential for a trade has risen. Morel has been an electric rookie for the Cubs, showing off great hitting potential. And with him being only 23, you can group him in with Hoerner as a player who's going to be 100% part of the Cubs' future plans. Thompson started the year as a solid relieving arm, but has proven himself as a capable starter. The 27-year-old also looks to be part of the Cubs' future. Suzuki has shown flashes as a rookie out of Japan. He just signed a big contract with the Cubs and also looks to be around for the long haul. Brennan Davis is the Cubs' top prospect. He's gotten off to a rough start in AAA ball in 2022, but his past success in the minors shows how much potential he could have in the Cubs' future. Pete Crow Armstrong was part of the Javier Baez trade, and he's shown incredible upside during 2022. He's risen to become the second-ranked prospect in the Cubs farm system and projects to be a great outfielder in the Cubs' future. Hernandez has incredible athletic upside for the Cubs. His home run swing has been getting a lot of praise and has shown a lot of promise at the lower minor league levels. Killian has had success in the minors, but not much in the pros yet. He still shows incredible upside and could be a great player in the Cubs' future. Overall, the Cubs are at a crossroads, but with solid drafting, proper trades, and proper development, they could hopefully reach that height that they did in 2016 once again.